Alright guys, welcome back to the channel. It's Maddie here. Today we have another deck showcase video. We're going to be highlighting Blaziken and Heatmor, kind of the hottest deck right now in Pokemon Pocket, no pun intended. This is a deck that really popped up sometime last week and has ever since been one of the most played decks, but also one of the most successful decks from a win rate perspective. That's the most important thing. I think a lot of people take a look at decks and see which ones are winning tournaments, which ones are getting first place, but the most important statistic when it comes to choosing a deck should be its average win rate and its positioning in matchup spreads against the other most popular decks in the metagame right now. I think that Blaziken Heatmor is incredible. It is literally one of the best decks in the entire game right now. I almost put it S tier in my tier list, but I wanted to showcase this because I actually haven't really showcased Blaziken yet on the channel. When Mega Rising came out, Blaziken was definitely the most popular deck, and I knew at the time that it would probably struggle, just because it would be, counterplayed heavily, and Oricorio, of course, ended up being extremely popular at the beginning of the season. So at this point in time, I think that we've figured out how to play Mega Blaziken while also being able to compete against some of those counter meta, Oricorio type decks of the metagame. This is a really, really strong deck list. Very simple as well, which is why I like it, right? So 2 of the new Tongue Whip Heatmor, which is basically like Hitmonlee from Genetic Apex, or the Leap over Absol. It just does 30 damage to one of your opponent's bench Pokemon, 80 HP, 1 fire energy, and 1 energy in the retreat cost. And then the rest of the deck is kind of just consistency cards. We have 1 Rocky Helmet, 1 Giant Cape, whether we need to boost the damage or, of course, have some more HP so that we don't get KO'd. I think one of each is kind of, fine. To be fair, this deck list can be built so many different ways. I took the most successful deck from a recent online tournament, and that's what we're going to be highlighting today. I like 1 red card, 1 Copycat, and then double Cyrus in the deck. I would recommend playing 2 Cyrus, 2 Pokeball, 2 Research. That to me seems like the most, useful combination there. And then 1 Combuskin. There is a lot of Chinglings still in the metagame, right? So you want to get around Chinglings. I think 1 Middle Evolution is becoming pretty common in the season right now, and I think that it actually does help the deck a little bit, especially with Copycat. And then 1 Flame Patch. So traditionally in Blaziken, they would play 2 copies of Flame Patch, but I think what people have found with this deck list is that it's not nearly as needed, right? Because Heatmor really only has an attack cost of 1 and a retreat cost of 1, and it doesn't really matter if we have that Heat Patch or have multiple Heat Patches. We really only need 1 throughout the game, and that's just sort of how people are building the deck, and I think that's probably pretty fine. Flame Patch kind of just functions as like an X speed in the deck, but it's a little bit more flexible in terms of its applications, right? So a really, really strong deck, a really strong card here. Not a deck that I've actually played with a lot myself, which is, typically interesting when I make these types of videos because I'm highlighting a deck list, but if you want to see some high-level gameplay, I would recommend you go watch some of the best, players competing in online tournaments play this deck, because they're probably going to play it a little bit better than I am. But, we like to do at least 1 deck showcase and gameplay video on the channel every week, so this is going to be the one this week. Blaziken, Mega Blaziken, and Heatmor. I'm excited. Mega Blaziken, definitely one of the strongest cards in the entire game, and I think at this point now we've kind of figured out the best way to play it, and I'm really excited about that. Definitely should have a large impact in the metagame moving forward. But before we get into the gameplay, though, guys, I do just want to let you know that the Pocket Mads Pocket Tournament number 8 is this weekend, and we have our prize pool updated. So we are going to be, having $100 cash in the prize pool this weekend, as well as a full art Cyrus. That's right. The winner will get a full art Cyrus, and I will be trading it to them, on top of, I believe, $50 to first place. So going to be a lot of fun. I would highly recommend that you guys go and register. And yeah, it's going to be a great time. Of course, we're going to be live streaming on the channel and everything like that. So go ahead, link down in the description below to go register. That's a bit of a long intro. These deck videos here, they're pretty candid. We like to just sort of talk a little bit, get into some gameplay, pretty relaxed. Nothing too crazy. A lot of people probably just come in, grab the deck list, and then they leave. You know what I mean? But for the people that are here, for the experience, I appreciate you guys. Yeah, let's just dive into it. We will be playing the Emblem event, even though I already have, of course, my 9 wins. Theoretically speaking, we should get some better competition in the Emblem event, I would assume, than just normal casual battle. So that's why we're playing in the Emblem event. Rest in peace to everybody that we end up beating, if we do beat anybody, because they're probably trying to complete their Emblem event as well. But hey, it is what it is. Let's dive right into it. So the cool thing about Blaziken, just like Altaria, is that, leading Torchic is actually somewhat fine, especially if we go second, because that Mega Burning attack on your second turn is just really, really strong. So it doesn't really matter what we lead off with, although we are leading Heatran in this sense. It typically isn't even that bad to, like, same with like Absol, right? These 2 energy attackers, like going first, you don't want to lead off with them, especially because they're like mega Pokemon, but going second, they're actually not that bad to lead off with. But we do have Rare Candy, Blaziken, Red Card, and Pokeball in hand. So, theoretically speaking, if we were to just end up drawing or grabbing a Torchic off this Pokeball, we're going to be in a pretty decent spot here. And it looks like we are playing Suicune. This definitely could be an interesting matchup. Bench damage, up against bench damage, definitely going to be interesting for sure. But yeah, I'm just really happy that Blaziken has found its spot in the metagame. I think that there is always a place for just really strong, kind of linear, hard-hitting fire-type Pokemon in the metagame. We've seen this a lot, like over the course of Pokemon Pocket's history. We've seen Charizard, both Genetic Apex and Stoke Charizard. Flareon was very prominent for quite some time as well. And I think that the metagame in general is kind of just it's good when, we have these sort of strong, just heavy-hitting fire-type decks in the metagame. So I'm going to Pokeball before research here because I would like to draw into a Cyrus or something for that rather, but we're just going to grab the Torchic exactly like we wanted to, and let's research here right off the bat. We have red card in hand, but they are, of course, going first and leading Froakie, which is not ideal. So, and I think what we can do pretty freely in this deck list is just bench everything just because... Or not everything, but we can bench multiple Torchics because at the end of the day, it's just going to come down to whether or not, of course, I'm going to target the Suicune here, not the Giratina, because I assume he's probably going to go into the Suicune. I'd rather get damage onto it now. What was I going to say? Yeah, like it doesn't really matter with Mega Pokemon because there were 3 prizes, right? So you can kind of get away with benching multiple single prize Pokemon, which I think is fine. Also, a win condition for Megas is getting double Megas on the board and then going into them. So he is going to attach and retreat into Suicune. He wants to draw some cards here. Hasn't played a supporter yet. The second Froakie comes down, so he is going to get the extra draw this turn, and he'll start setting up the Giratina EX, which is definitely not super ideal for us, but we should be able to target it and then bring it back in as well. So we top deck the Combuskin, which is totally cool. I'm actually just going to attach to it, and I'm probably not even going to rare candy yet. We could red card preemptively, and just maybe avoid like a rare candy Greninja Cyrus play, even though it's not that unlikely or likely this turn. It really doesn't matter because he doesn't have an attacking option set up. So I think at this point, I kind of want to try to play around the Irida. So I am just going to play the red card. Honestly, I'm just going to play it now. Which I think is probably fine. It doesn't really matter probably, but we'll see. I'm going to hold the rare candy and the Blaziken in hand and the Cyrus, and I'm going to tongue whip the Giratina. So now, theoretically speaking, Blaziken will KO this Giratina regardless, even if he comes in and hits me. And nothing is one in KOing a Mega Blaziken, right? So I can come in next turn and KO the active Suicune, or I can KO the Giratina. He's going to actually attach to the Suicune here. We haven't seen a giant cape yet. That is certainly something that's somewhat important, but Suicune has 140 HP. So even if he heals back up and doesn't have giant cape, we're still KOing. That's the strength of Mega Blaziken, just an absolutely super powerful card. And he is just going to bellow once again here. So I feel pretty confident in our ability to just KO. As we see there, we do draw into the other Blaziken, which is pretty funny. So yeah, let's just do this right off the bat. Now, we don't have a Flame Patch, so I'm not even going to evolve this one yet. We could Cyrus up the Giratina and KO it. But does it really matter, I guess, is the question. You know what I mean? I'm just trying to think, like, if he giant capes and Iridas up the Suicune, it's going to go to full HP. I guess he could do the same thing to Giratina as well. We're definitely just going to KO. The question is, which one would we rather KO? I think I would rather just hold the Cyrus in hand, even though we have another one in the deck. I would rather just hold on to it for now. We could get Mars'd as well, which is the other sort of, scary part about this. But the one thing that I don't want per se, well, I guess it doesn't really matter. So in case we do get Mars'd after we KO the active Suicune, I am just going to rare candy up the Blaziken. I don't want to get hit with Greninja and then pinged and then Cyrus'd up, but it's a retreat cost of 1 for Blaziken, so it's actually fairly safe to do that. We still have Flame Patch in the deck as well. So yeah, we're going to hold the Cyrus in hand, and I'm just going to KO the Suicune, and then, to be honest with you, I feel pretty decent about our odds regardless, because Giratina, even if he full heals and giant capes, he'll be damaging himself, right, which is an important thing to note. So I think it's safer to KO the Suicune here and hold Cyrus in hand, but we'll see. He's got a lot of cards in hand here. We could see, an Irida. We could see a giant cape. Those are things we don't necessarily want. Here comes the rare candy. Is it going to be... Which one is it going to be here? Okay, so it's Water Shuriken Greninja, which is a little bit scary. All I really care about whether or not he has Irida and giant cape in his hand, which, we'll see if he does or not. He's going to research, so no Irida. I'm good with that. That kind of just means the game's over, I would say, unless maybe he goes into a Greninja EX, but, really not that big of a deal. So, yeah. Yeah, it's just the strength of Blaziken, right? I mean, the ability to kind of put on the pressure with Heatmor and then really seamlessly just go into, Mega Blaziken is just a very consistent strategy. He's going to go into Suicune here. I wonder if he has Giant Cape and he's just going to retreat into the Giratina. Probably wouldn't be the best bet. No, he's just going to let me KO because we hit for 140 with burn, right? So it's kind of just a crazy... But Mega Blaziken's really strong in that sense because a lot of Pokemon kind of fall under that line. So yeah, we're just going to go ahead and do this. Actually, this is the emblem event. This man's probably looking for wins. I'm actually just going to concede before he does. I'm just going to give him the win. I mean, we won the game regardless. So us actually winning we don't benefit anything from it. So I'm just going to give the wins to our opponents because they're probably looking for their emblems, right? But anyway, that was a pretty dominant victory. And against like a water type matchup as well. I really think that the Heatmor stuff just makes the deck so good even into Suicune. Like this is just a very bulletproof strategy. Super consistent, just very, it's just good. It's just a really good deck. And it's simple, you know? So I think that when like ranked comes out, like this could be like the #1 deck to play just because of how simple it is and how consistent it is. And, you know, it's just a very easy deck to grind with like over and over again. So, you know, I think fire decks kind of operate like that. I think Stoke Charizard was very similar in that sense. We're going first leading Torchic, obviously not super ideal. But we do have rare candy Pokemon and research in hand. And it looks like we're playing Hydreigon. Hydreigon scares me, right? Because it's a single prize Pokemon, so the KOs kind of matter a little bit less in general. We're going to Pokeball before research because we already have double Torchic, so we're going to guarantee the Heatmor here. I guess without Flame Patch, what we probably are going to have to end up doing, there's another rare candy and a Mega Blaziken, which is crazy. I'm actually just going to Giant Cape the benched Torchic, probably. But we're definitely in a weird position because I don't really want to evolve the active and then take any unnecessary damage. So no Flame Patch means that we are probably just going to sacrifice the active Torchic because, you know, he's just going to be able to attack before us, right? And after that research, like he's got a lot of cards in hand. We can kind of expect, yeah, there's the Absol. We can kind of expect something, you know, to come next turn, you know what I mean? So I'll let him just damage the Torchic. It's really not that big of a deal to me, if I'm being honest with you. And there's actually the Flame Patch, which is kind of crazy. So I think we just maybe hold that for later. I'm trying to think. We could attach to the Torchic and retreat, but I don't really know what that does for us, coincidentally. So yeah, I'm probably just going to attach here. And then if he doesn't KO me, I'll use the Flame Patch to KO with Blaziken next turn, but that's probably what I'm going to do. The thing is, if Torchic goes down, then we really only have one Blaziken, and that is definitely an issue, but I think that's probably fine. I'm just going to Rare Candy now. I'm just going to Rare Candy now in case he like goes Chingling or whatever. Oh, there we go. I thought I like evolved the active for some reason there. I thought I misclicked. But anyway, 230 HP Mega Blaziken. You know, Hydreigons are definitely going to be able to deal a lot of damage for sure. But if he goes into Hydreigon, he has to take damage. Not only that, but he also has to, you know, he would be KOing the active, which is probably the better choice for him. He's going to set up the Absol like immediately, which is pretty funny. But we have a lot of options here now, right? So like if he doesn't KO, and even if he does, we can go into Heatmor. Yeah, he's not even going to KO. So what we can do is actually burn the Flame Patch, go into Heatmor, and then put pressure here on the Absol, and then we can copycat after. This is incredible. Yeah, we're definitely going to do this. He might be playing healing, but Heatmor allowing us to pressure the benched Absol there, which is a 3-prize Pokemon, which is good. So let's Flame Patch the Heatmor, and then I'm just going to immediately copycat and gain a bunch of cards, hopefully grabbing a Cyrus, and then next turn we can just win the game. So yeah, pretty crazy. There's the Cyrus, which we love to see, and we keep our Torchic alive, which is nice. Yeah, this is all good stuff. I'm going to Giant Cape, or sorry, I'm going to Rocky Helmet the active Heatmor, and I'm just going to evolve here into Combuskin because why not? And yeah, so now we can just target this this Absol. We have 4 cards in deck, which is crazy. Copycat is a broken card. And now he's at 140 HP, which means like literally, like I have double Cyrus in the deck, so even if we get hand disrupted or something, like we just KO this and then win. So unless he can heal or has a Giant Cape or whatever, like we're going to be in a pretty good spot. Regardless. And we're living like 2 attacks either way, so it's safe to go into Blaziken regardless, which is pretty funny. But yeah, I mean, you know, he's gonna copycat his like 6 card hand. He's definitely looking for like a Hydreigon here, or maybe he's looking for like a Giant Cape if he plays it. But yeah, he is not safe next turn. I mean, we've okay, he does have Giant Cape. All right, good for him, because that was, I was going to say, that would have been a little bit sketchy for sure. He's actually just going to attach to the Dino? Wow, okay, so he can't even KO the Heatmor this turn, which is really bad for him. He takes Rocky Helmet damage, which doesn't really matter, but gives us another turn to attack on the, yeah, I'm actually just going to do this. We can do this, which is hilarious. I'm just going to research, because why not? And then we'll just be able to tongue slap again. It's with tongue whip. I called it tongue slap. Tongue whip. It's a weird attack name for sure. It's a weird one. Definitely a strange one. I'm actually just going to red card because I want to burn cards in my hand. I want to minimize the opportunity or maximize the opportunity for us to have Cyrus. That way half of our cards are Cyrus right now. And we're just going to do another 30 to the Absol. And, you know, again, we're putting him like in a position to be like, well, you know, what are you going to do at this point? You know what I mean? And that's like the pressure that our deck is. The meta game right now is really all about, you know, your opponent probably setting up a mega Pokemon on their bench or you know, a 2-prize EX Pokemon on their bench and then have something else in the active. So, you know, whether that's Oricorio or in a scenario like this where it's like, you know, Absol Hydreigon, it's just really great because we can kind of get around that. You know what I mean? It's just such a funny, like Heatmor to me, when I saw this card, I was like, yeah, it's all right. You know what I mean? But then like as the meta developed, it just made more and more sense. You know, single prize Pokemon love to be paired with mega Pokemon. So it just makes a lot of sense in that regard. But also like the numbers add up like very, very well. And Heatmor's got a lot of HP. You know, it really does. Just a really, really good deck. This might be like inherently one of the strongest decks in the game, if not one of the strongest decks. Now, I think yesterday on the tier list, I didn't put this in S tier just because it's still kind of new and we don't know if like, you know, the metagame is going to like counter react to this deck list. But I mean, in my experience and in watching this deck play, like it really is just like extremely dominant. It looks like our opponent, might have just rage quit the game. We got to give him the win though. You know, he's probably looking for his emblems, so I kind of feel bad. Yeah. All right. If he passes here, we're just going to concede and give him the win here. We're friendly here on the channel today. All of these are technically wins, but I don't mind, you know, taking the losses, right? Quote unquote. Yeah. Okay. Here, we'll just BM him a little bit. We'll let him know that we had it. He's definitely just rage quit regardless. So we'll concede, give him the win. Congrats, buddy. But I think we all know what happened there. So it looks like today, actually, we might not win any games, theoretically speaking. Man, I mean, the last 2 games have just been very dominant. Like I forgot to thank my opponent, my bad. I always forget to do that. Yeah, man. Anyway, you know, but Mega Blaziken, right? I think we all knew that the card would be so strong. We just knew that this was a super strong card. It really just took a little bit of time, right? Whether it was like with Entei paired with Mega Blaziken or like the Cleffa version to be a little bit more consistent. I think Heatmor just is sort of the best of both worlds. You can put pressure on. It's a single prize Pokemon, still consistent, low energy attack cost. Like it's just a really, really sound strategy. And like anything, it's similar to like the Greninja Suicune stuff, right? I mean, it's like, you know what this deck kind of reminds me of is like the Pheromosa Buzzwole stuff from back in the day. Or somebody mentioned like Hitmonlee Gallade from back in the day as well, which is effectively the same deck as this. So it kind of is a little bit scary. Like in a world, oh, it looks like we're playing the Entei mirror matchup here. In a world where we do get like a really strong fighting type mega Pokemon, like we do have Hitmonlee. You know what I mean? Like we literally do have that. And then I think the Absol, the leap over Absol does like the same thing. Altaria has Jirachi, so it kind of is just like the strongest way to play these decks. Our hand is not good though. And we can't even attack anything because he didn't bench anything, which is kind of funny. So unfortunate hand here in the mirror matchup, but he also didn't bench anything either. So we'll see what we top deck. He is going to research. We don't have a copycat in hand, but we have Flame Patch, Rare Candy, Blaziken, Giant Cape, which is kind of crazy. A little bit crazy. He's definitely going to draw a bunch of cards. So that's his advantage in this matchup, but what he might do here is just not bench anything, which is pretty funny. But anyway, what do we top deck? It is a copycat. Unfortunately, I am probably... I'll attach the Giant Cape, I guess. Not that it really matters, but I'm going to do this and then I'm going to copycat. We really just need a Torchic and we're going to get a lot of cards here. So I don't mind this really, but kind of crazy that it came down to that. Or one copycat in the deck. We're going to draw like 8 cards here. The Rocky Helmet. Okay, we probably shouldn't have Giant Cape. Double Cyrus, red card. Can we get a basic? Thank you. Double Torchic. Okay. All right. All right. We got them all. We got all the cards here. And red card, which is brutal. The copycat red card combo is absolutely brutal. It really is. One of the most ridiculous combos in the entire game. Now we're going to have 8 cards in deck and we're going to research next turn, which is a little bit crazy. We still can't do any damage, which is kind of brutal, but I mean, what are you going to do, right? What are you going to do? I guess we could Rocky Helmet. Yeah, maybe we just retreat into Rocky Helmet here. No, because we want to open up the ability for us to... Well, I guess it doesn't even matter. Yeah. I'd rather attack with Blaziken next turn, so that's what we're going to do. Here comes the Pokeball. So he did get it. We do have double Cyrus, though. He can't KO me. Blaziken only... Or Entei only does 60. Is he not going to bench anything? There's no way. He just Pokeballed. He's got to bench, or else he loses. I guess we could with... We could with Rare Candy and Blaziken. All 4 of those cards are in our 8-card deck, which is unfortunate, but we're going to draw 3 next turn. Yeah, he's just going to hit us for Blazing Beatdown. So he elected not to bench anything, which is crazy. In hindsight, what do we top deck? It's a Combuskin. That's not Rare Candy or Blaziken. Can we snipe them out of the deck here? Let's see. No. All right. It's unfortunate. Certainly unfortunate, but what we can do is just retreat. And then he can't KO us next turn either, and we're definitely going to get a Blaziken the following turn, so, yeah. It's crazy he didn't bench it. I wonder what he had on his bench there. Why wouldn't he bench? Like, the odds of him not doing that is crazy. There comes the Torchic here. All good. All good. You know, he could still win this game. He's going to Sabrina me, which is actually probably a pretty good play from him. Not that it really matters, but yeah, I don't hate that play. But only one Torchic. You know, he is definitely threatened. He's not even going to attach to the Entei here, so he can't KO this Heatmor next turn unless he has like another Sabrina or something. That could be crazy, but it kind of worked out for him. Him not benching last turn theoretically did work out for him. Somehow we don't have Blaziken yet, so you know, good for him, I guess. But we're gonna be able to bounce between Blazikens here, right? So let's do this. I am going to attach here. I'm going to research and I'll hit this Torchic because the only way he KOs me next turn is by somehow. Doesn't have any energy in his discard pile. So there's a dead Pokeball. Okay, we have Blaziken left in the deck, and then what else do we have in the deck? We have Blaziken and what? Fire Patch? Flame Patch? We're missing Flame Patch, I guess. Sure. Anyway, let's tongue whip the Torchic and see if he probably will evolve next turn. But again, like we can always just double Cyrus and target the Blaziken, right? So these single prize Pokemon don't really add any weight to the matchup. Oh wait, we have Rare Candy and Blaziken in hand. So wait, what are we missing? So it's Rare Candy. Okay, we have Rare Candy in the deck. So he does evolve Blaziken here, so he's probably gonna go into it. I'm just curious. Yeah, I mean, I don't like this play from him. I mean, I guess he doesn't have any other options, so he has to evolve. But he can't KO the Heatmor with Entei, and I'm just going to Cyrus this up. Maybe he has... Yeah, but he played Research. I mean, he didn't play Lily. I wonder... He probably plays a copy of Lily in the deck. And if you're him, you can't really go into it, right? So, because we have double Cyrus, I still think that this is probably the correct play where we just burn a Cyrus here. Because we're going to burn like 3 cards evolving. But that Rare Candy is going to be dead, yeah, so okay. And the last card is Flame Patch, which is fine. So let's just do this. And this is fine too, because we're not even taking any prizes technically by doing this. So we'll just go ahead, even if he like Marses us or whatever, or red cards us, like the odds of us getting Cyrus are 100%. So we're just going to bring up the Blaziken and then come in here and hit him with our own Blaziken. And then what? You know what I mean? Like what can he possibly do here, I guess? It's really the power of Heatmor. I think that you're definitely at a disadvantage playing Blaziken. If you're not playing Heatmor, especially into a Blaziken matchup where they are playing Heatmor. I like Entei, I do, but with Copycat in the format, like the draw engines are honestly a bit of a downside more than they are an upside, and like I said, Heatmor with Cyrus is just absolutely broken. So he's gonna have to retreat here, but I have 2 Cyrus in the deck. He can't Mars me. He's gonna May, that's fine. So yeah, here we go. This is it, guys. What are we going to do about this deck, I wonder? It's similar to like Greninja. We don't have anything in the game that can stop these Pokemon from damaging the bench, which really is kind of scary. I guess the only way around Heatmor would be to play like Pokemon Center Lady so that you could keep your bench shield. Because it's an attack, not an ability. So theoretically, you can counter it a little bit better than you would be able to counter Greninja's Water Shuriken. But Heatmor's a basic. So this is just a really fundamentally strong deck. I guess Chingling in the active will stop him from being able to stop the Blazikens from being able to, Rare Candy. But, if they're playing Combuskin, like, they're going to probably get into it at some point. So let's concede before he does. Congrats to our opponent for getting the win. GG. So technically we're 0-3, but as we know, we've won all 3 of those games, theoretically. Shout out to our opponents here. We're letting people get the wins if they need their emblems. I still forget to thank my opponents. I apologize. At least we're giving them the win. You know what I mean? Is this fun for you guys? Do you guys get upset? You guys might be upset watching this, me conceding these matches that I have won. But again, this isn't ranked. Like, none of this matters. I already have my emblem. Like, there's not... Like, we're doing these players a service by beating them, by giving them the win, right? But anyway, let's play like one more match. I guess this has just been a very dominant. We haven't seen Chingling yet. We haven't seen Oricorio. Double Torchic lead, although we are going second this time, which is interesting. So our hand is not that good either. So we could definitely lose. Like, this is definitely a deck that can lose games, right? I think we've just sort of gotten pretty fortunate in terms of, you know, the cards that we've had so far. He leads Giratina, which, you know, is a little bit scary for him, I would say. But he is going first, so that's the benefit there. All right, here comes the Pokeball into a Heatmor. It's so funny. This isn't even like a holo card. It's just like a basic card. It's like the only like non-holo Pokemon that sees play. Like Jirachi's a holo, Chingling is a holo, Greninja's a holo. Like, it's like the only non-holo, or I guess non-3 diamond card. Like, it's just a 1 diamond common, but it's broken. It's absolutely insane. I'm just gonna hit it with Torchic here. I don't want to burn the Flame Patch yet. He's a couple of turns off attacking regardless. If he does bench something important, I can always just retreat into Heatmor and then keep the Flame Patch in hand for when I need it. Or theoretically, I could just attach double to Torchic and then retreat, and then same thing there. But yeah, we can Combuskin next turn. So there's the Suicune, right? And he's definitely just going to want to go into it, but he's actually not going to do that this turn. And he Giant Capes the Giratina, which is fascinating. Let's see what we top deck here. This is going to be... So next turn, he's going to be able to go into Suicune and KO, right? So we don't want that. Okay, the Pokeball is not ideal, actually, at all. So I think what we do want to do here is probably... We do just want to go into Heatmor, I think. Let's do this. We'll keep the Flame Patch in hand here. I'm just going to evolve. Doesn't really matter. That way, if we draw into Blaziken, we'll be fine here. He can't attack with Giratina, so... I'm fine with it. I know that he does more damage the more Pokemon we bench here, but I would rather just bench these Pokemon, I guess. Like, I don't even care about that. So we have damage off on the Giratina, and he has Leaf, which is unfortunate, actually. Like, unironically, that's quite unfortunate. We really just need Blaziken now. We can KO the active. Yeah, him conserving the energies on the Giratina is a little bit scary, but he's going to elect to KO this turn, so... it's really not any big of a deal. He would have KO'd anyway with weakness because all our Pokemon are weak to water, so I guess benching here doesn't really matter. Interesting. So, like, I guess it doesn't really matter. We'll just go into Heatmor regardless here, because, like, the odds of us drawing into Blaziken are kind of high, but I'd rather get the attack off before I go into Blaziken. Yeah, Rocky Helmet is whatever. Interesting. Okay. We have Flame Patch still. If we lose this game, it's because we just don't draw Blaziken, right? But we do have double Research, double Blaziken, and Copycat in our hand. I'm going to keep the Suicune in the active spot in case we top deck a Copycat. So I'm just going to target the Froakie here. Right? We Rocky Helmet the active. It is a little bit scary, though, because we did bench the second Torchic now at this point. So, like, theoretically, you know, win condition for him here is going to be killing the Heatmor and then, like, Rare King Greninja pinging Cyrusing up the other Torchic, you know what I mean? Like, that's obviously a way that we could lose here, just because we're on like turn 4 without Blaziken, which is tough. He's going to attach to the Froakie and then just hit me. Okay. So he's got 7 cards in deck this turn. A Copycat would be really nice. But yeah, I mean, regardless, we lose this game without Blaziken, so none of it really matters all that much, regardless. So we're going to go into Combuskin here. We double Research, double Blaziken in the deck list. Can we do it? We also have Copycat. No. All right. It did happen. It did happen to us. We ended up losing by just not drawing the Blazikens, which, you know, does happen. Like, you know, it's hard to win games if you don't draw your Blaziken, either of them, or either your Researches, right? So we have 9 cards in our deck, double Research, double Blaziken, and Copycat in our deck. That's a recipe for disaster. I just don't think there's ever a way to win if that's the case. So, hey, we were able to showcase a game where we finally bricked, which, you know, is definitely possible, for sure. So, yeah, hey, what are you going to do? You can't, there's nothing we could do. You know what I mean? Let's high jump kick the Froakie for good measure. Because why not? Let's do it. Shout out. I'm glad we got a loss here on the video. I honestly don't like uploading videos where all we do is just like win games, because it doesn't even feel like genuine. You know, the reality of Pokemon Pocket is that you're going to lose games sometimes. So it's good to showcase that. You know what I mean? But yeah, you know, rest in peace. Rest in peace to the Blaziken. Our opponent's got double researches. He's got 3 cards in deck, so he's +6 card advantage. A Copycat would have completely broken open this game. Again, you could say, well, like maybe you should play double Copycat and maybe cut something from the deck. Like that could be fine, but I think that, you know, you're already playing a couple like double Cyrus, so you probably don't want to go a little bit too heavy on the Pokemon counts, but you know, that's the reality of the game, right? That's Pokemon Pocket, you know, sometimes it goes like that, man. Sometimes it does go like that. There's nothing really that you can do about it. Do we want like one more game? I guess we'll just play like one more. You know, like why not? Oh, man, we are like 0-4 in this video. It's brutal, man. We just can't win a game. What's up with that? Is this really a good deck? We haven't won a single game all video. Let's play one more. Let's play one more game. Comment down below what you guys think of this. I know there's a lot of people that just love Blaziken, and anybody that, you know, is a Blaziken enjoyer, I would heavily recommend you play this version. I really do think it's the way to go. Like I said, Copycat really just kind of supplements the draw power of like playing Entei. So to be honest, like it's probably better to just play Heatmor. You get the bench damage and you can play Copycat. Like that's sort of my recommendation here. We are going second, leading Torchic again here, so no Heatmor lead. That's a couple games in a row. We do have Research, Rocky Helmet, and Red Card. But what are we going up against? What are we going up against? Do we know? Has our opponent left before the game has even begun? I'm curious. Hello. I wanted to play one more game. Come on now. Don't do this to me. Don't do this to the viewers. I don't want to edit the video. I wanted, there we go. Okay, we're playing Lightning. And it looks like Jolteon, which is pretty cool. So, interesting for sure. The boosted evolution, I mean, he could just immediately go into Jolteon. He's going first, though, so without, like, a Zero Aura or whatever, he can't actually KO me. Yeah, okay, that's fine. Totally fine with that. We even have Copycat, so it might actually be better here to Copycat. Nah, it's probably better to Red Card. Is it, though? Yeah, I kind of want to hold the Copycat. So I'm going to just burn these cards, and I'm going to Red Card and then Research here. I'm going to Red Card. I'm going to drop him down. If I didn't have Research in hand, I wouldn't have Red Card Copycatted, but I'm gonna Red Card because he didn't play anything else, and then I'm gonna Research. So this gives us the biggest card advantage. Yeah, and then there's Blaziken and Torchic, so pretty fine, I would say. And like I said, like he can't attack me with Jolteon next turn. We'll take 20 damage if we attach, but I'd rather do this, I think. So now we're +3 card advantage. Maybe we just gave him a Research. Yeah, I mean, but we can always Copycat, right? So like it's really not that big of a deal. Let's see if he evolves the active. He's gonna Pokeball now. I just won't Copycat if there's no reason to. Pikachu EX is very interesting. I wonder if he's just going to immediately like attach to that. But I mean, the 150 damage does not feel nearly as strong now as it did in the previous seasons, right? Yeah, no Jolteon. He actually attaches to the bench, which is crazy. So I'm just going to do this. Well, I guess we do. If he retreats, he can actually just KO, which is a little bit scary now that I think about it. I probably shouldn't evolve that one. But can he retreat? I guess if we KO, he can just evolve and then KO me. So maybe we don't do that. Maybe we just don't KO yet because it really doesn't matter if we do or not, right? The prize now is not going to help us. So let's do this and hope that he doesn't KO me somehow. Hopefully he doesn't have like XP Jolteon and just KO my active. That would be unfortunate. Then I think technically this is probably a misplay, but us not attacking means that it probably doesn't matter because he needs X speed and Jolteon. That Zero Aura coming out on turn 3 is not going to matter. Yeah, he's going to attach to the Pikachu here, so it worked out in our favor. We recovered from the misstep there, you know, real quick, which is cool. Here's a Heatmor. Let's bench it because why not? You know, we could actually. This is pretty funny. We could just go into the Heatmor. Do we actually? Do we go into Heatmor here? Is a funny question because if he doesn't have Jolteon, we can threaten the KO and the EV on the bench, but. I mean, does it really matter, though? Like, what can he do? If we KO the Eevee, it's a single prize Pokemon, which means he's forced into, like, Eevee or Pikachu, because those are the only 2 Pokemon with energies, and if those are both EX Pokemon, which they will be if they, you know, if he evolves Jolteon especially, then we just KO and we win, right? So, like, I'm kind of feeling that type of energy, so, I mean, why not? Like, I don't think he can survive regardless, so I'm just going to go into Blaziken here, and I am just going to Copycat for 3, because I don't know if he's going to have more or less cards next turn. And there's Rare Candy, Cyrus, and a Pokeball, so we'll thin the deck out a little bit. Now, we probably don't want to bench the other Heatmor, just from the prizing perspective, at least at the moment. So, yeah, we're just going to KO. And I think we're in a fine spot. We also have Rocky Helmet on the active, and he can't KO me next turn regardless. So, yeah. I mean, I think we're in one of those spots. You know what I mean? I don't know what our opponent does. I really like Jolteon. I just don't think it's very good in like this world of Mega Pokemon. At least the way that people are building Jolteon right now, I think it has a lot of potential. I just don't know how I really feel about it. I feel like it's supposed to be like an aggressive frontline Pokemon that you're supposed to use like with Electrical Cord to set up like a backline attacker. Maybe it could be good with Ampharos or something. It's just, I don't know. A lot of the lightning type cards feel a little awkward. He does just go into Zeraora because he has to, I guess. And here's Jolteon. But we're not threatened by anything. That's the important part. Oh, he's going to hit me for 50. If he has red, we're in a tough spot, actually. If he has red, we're going to be in a tough position. Are we, though, I guess, is kind of the reality. Maybe. He can't Cyrus in red in the same turn, though. Also, he doesn't have... I mean, okay, let's talk about this realistically, right? Okay, he's going to concede. I was like, how can he's got to get an extra energy and have red to KO next turn? I just don't see that happening, so... Yeah, it's tough. We didn't even use Heatmor. We just straight up Blaziken. And I was saying that earlier in the video too. Like going second, like Blaziken's just strong because it can just sort of, you know, it can just attack you. It's kind of a unique thing there. We will thank this opponent because I forgot to. He was actually the only opponent we beat today. So we'll give him a thanks here. I'm a sore loser. I'm just kidding. That's the video, guys. There it is. That's the deck list. You know, a super chill video today. This is a deck that we've talked about on the channel. I just wanted to highlight it specifically because I think this does have potential to be like a true meta driver right now. I think that it's just, it has everything going for it. It's consistent. It's fast paced. It's low impact. You know, like it has the whole Cyrus bench damage combo, has a ton of HP on Mega Blaziken. You know, the Rocky Helmet extra damage. You know, it just has like, it's got everything going for it. I think that this fire archetype is potentially the strongest fire type deck that we've had in a very, very long time. It's interesting, right? I mean, we're like into the second week now of the season, and you know, this Blaziken, it seemingly has just finally reached its final form. So it's crazy how long it kind of takes, like when new cards come out. But you know, I didn't create this deck list. This was a deck that was, you know, created by somebody, likely one of the better like online players in the community, and then they brought it to a tournament and dominated, and it's quickly, you know, taken over the metagame. I could see this weekend at Pocket Meds Pocket Tournament number 8, Heatmor Blaziken might be the most played deck this weekend. It has that potential, which is really interesting. So yeah, Altaria and Chingling won the first weekend tournament. And then Absol Arcorio won our second tournament of Mega Rising. Maybe Heatmor Blaziken is there to win the final tournament, right? I mean, or not the final, but the third one, you know? So anyway, there it is, guys. Comment down below. Let me know what you guys think. Play this deck. It's very, very good. You know, probably should have put it in S tier just by its inherent strength yesterday, but we'll see how it performs this weekend. That to me is like the true measure. But ever since it started to see play, its win rate has been phenomenal, and it's really picking up in play. So there you go, guys. There it is. Thank you, by the way, for 40,000 subscribers. The support is incredible. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and don't forget to register for Pocket Meds Pocket Tournament number 8. Again, $100 in the prize pool and a full art Cyrus. So if you win the tournament, you get to you know, trade for that full art Cyrus. You can trade me whatever you want. It's effectively free. Definitely pretty cool prizing support here. And anyway, yeah, link to register down in the description below. Stay tuned. Tomorrow we'll likely do maybe our off meta showcase. There's some really interesting decks that have been making some moves in online tournaments, some things that you might not expect. We'll talk about them tomorrow, and then Friday, you know, I'll give you my best decks breakdown, which is, of course, always a fun video for me. So there it is, guys. Peace out. Have a good one. We'll see you guys later. Comment down below what you guys think. This deck's broken. This deck is really good. Really, really good. Kind of scary, actually. I'm a little bit afraid. We'll see how it goes. All right, guys. Have a good one. We'll see you guys later. Bye.